What if I told you by tapping into 8 innate psychological human desires, you can improve your results on your marketing, advertising, and even one-on-one sales? If you want to know what they are, continue to watch this video. What's up everybody? So in today's video, I'll be talking about the 8 biological, innate, psychological human desires that can improve the results on your marketing, your advertising, and even one-on-one sales. And because I'm feeling nice, I'll give you 9 more on top. So 17 in total. Whew, that's a lot. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Now, I didn't come up with this list. I've got to give full credit to Drew Eric Whitman, who's written the book Cashvertising, which I think is one of the most underrated books on psychology and advertising and persuasion that I've ever read. And I've read a lot of books on persuasion, and most of them, have one point that they drag on forever. Not with Drew. I mean, just the title says how to use more than 100 secrets of ad agency psychology to make big money selling anything to anyone. And it's packed with examples. It's so real and it's so punchy, and I love the way he writes. So very underrated. I suggest everyone should pick this up and read it at least once. I've gone through it multiple times, and I think I'll be going through it multiple times over my career as well. So what Drew talks about in this book is the Life Force 8. He brings it up in chapter 1. And these are 8 desires that we are born with, where biologically we can't get rid of them, no matter what kind of conditioning we go through. So let's just jump right into what these 8 are. Number 1 is survival or life extension. So now we're not living in a forest and afraid of tigers, so survival isn't really much of an issue these days, but life extension definitely is. So we want to improve how long we can live, so we want to improve the quantity of our life, but we also want to enjoy life fully until we're gone. So we want to improve the quality of life as well. So think about how your product or service is indirectly helping with that goal, and you've got a great hook. So number 2 is a boring one and a simple one, but it's worth mentioning. It's the enjoyment of food and beverages. So people want to eat better, they want to eat fresher and healthier, they want to latch on to new trends, and they want to be seen as unique based on their food choices. So it's June 2021 here in Dubai right now, and all I can see is ads for this K-pop band BTS partnering with McDonald's for a special BTS meal. Now, they wouldn't be doing it if it didn't work, but it's interesting how they're selling music-related services through this innate biological desire for us to enjoy our food and beverages. So number 3 in the Life Force 8 is having freedom from fear, pain, and danger. Now, as I mentioned, survival isn't our biggest issue anymore, but we've replaced that fear with a lot of micro fears and anxiety that are spread throughout our day and throughout our lives. And it's not in a fun place to be. It stops us from living a full life. It stops us from committing to certain things or enjoying life fully, really. So these are called life disruptors. And if your product or your service can alleviate some sort of fear, pain, or danger, and you use that as a hook, you definitely have the attention of your audience. So number 4 is an uncomfortable one to talk about with many businesses, and it's the desire to have a sexual relationship. So people are thinking about what attracts a mate, what earns the trust of their partner, and what dissuades them from having a partner, and how do they stay in a relationship. So everybody wants to be some sort of an eligible bachelor or bachelorette. And as a business, if your product and service can help them achieve that goal, you definitely have a great hook. And this doesn't have to be shallow, right? So for example, in some cultures, having more degrees or higher education is a prime factor in choosing a mate as well. So think of the angles that you can help your customers with in their desire to be with a partner. So number 5 on this list is having comfortable living conditions. Now, all the way back from the caves to tents to the houses that we live in today, people want to know that they have a place that they call their own. They can find solace and retreat here, but they can also host people, they can raise families, They can have a big enough kitchen to cook whatever they want. The plumbing works, the lighting is great, the layout is good, there's enough appliances in here. So if your product or service in some way can improve someone's life at home, you definitely want to position that as better living conditions for them. You'll be tapping into their biological desire to be cozy, and you'll definitely have their attention. Okay, on to number 6. Now this is a big one. It's the need to be superior, to keep winning, to keep up with the Joneses. Now we're tribal creatures. We're defined by our place in the tribe. So we're constantly thinking about how do we maintain our place in our tribe? How do we move up? How do we invest in ourselves, in self-improvement? How do we achieve more? How do we accomplish more? How do we do as much as the rest are doing? So everyone has their own version of success, and it can be defined, in 7 billion ways given the current population of the world. But if you can tap in with your product or your servicing, and your marketing message can tap into the desire for success in some way and help them accomplish that, you definitely have all ears. So number 7, I think it's a pretty good one. It's the desire to care and protect our loved ones. So we're not an entirely selfish species. We do think about others from time to time. And this desire works both ways. It's either fear-based, so pull, or love-based, which is a push. So if it's love-based, you're thinking about how you can improve your loved one's life in some way. How can you make them happy? How can you ease something for them? And if it's fear-based, you're thinking about how can you get someone out of the trouble that they're in right now, or how do you protect them from an upcoming danger as well. So this relates to your children, your spouse, your parents, your friends. So if your product or service is geared towards a person helping someone else in their life, do mention the importance of that relationship, because you're tapping into, again, that biological desire to care and protect your loved one. All right, the last one, number 8, is the desire to have social approval. Now this is different than keeping up with the Joneses. That was about winning and achieving success. Having social approval is the opposite. It's how do you blend in? How do you not stand out or be different? How do you become the same or similar to those that you admire? So it helps you decide things like what to wear, where to go, what to eat, what to drive. It all depends on who do you want to impress. You want to have that connection with other human beings, that high five, like, hey, we have the same taste or we enjoy the same things. So in your marketing or your sales messages, you can use this as a fear message where you would say that, hey, don't be an outcast or a silly outcast and do things your own way. Use our product or service. Or I prefer a motivating way. Hey, do something that the people that you admire are doing and go enjoy my product or my service. All right, guys, there you have it, the Life Force 8. I'm gonna end this section of the video from a direct quote from Drew in Cashvertising, and he says, listen, when you create an advertising appeal based on any of the Life Force 8, you are tapping into the power of Mother Nature herself. You tap into the very essence of what makes humans tick. You see, you can't escape your desires for the Life Force 8. You were born with them, and they'll be with you until the day you die. That's powerful. Okay, so I promised you 9 more extra psychological ticks that you can tap into, but I have to preface that with a warning. These are not as strong as the Life Force 8. They don't even come close. That's because they're not hardwired into us. We weren't born with them. They're called secondary wants because it's something that we have acquired over our life through our conditioning or through our environment. They're learned. So they're not going to be as effective as tools of persuasion as a Life Force 8 are. And in fact, a lot of the marketing messages I see today are based on these secondary wants. So if you ever have a choice between the Life Force 8 and the secondary wants, always try to go for the Life Force 8, but you can always use these as tools of persuasion. Okay, so let's get into this list of 9. I'll do it without over-explaining, just because I think they're very self-explanatory and I know you're smart. So number 1 is the need to be informed, easily solvable by giving more information to your potential customers that they require. Number 2 is curiosity. If you can tap into someone's inner curious cat or make them or generate some curiosity in them, you've got them hooked. Number 3 is cleanliness of body and surroundings. I know we're not born with that skill, but if you can use that as a hook, then that can work for you as well. Number 4 is efficiency. If you can help someone be harder, better, faster, stronger in something that they do, you definitely have their attention. Number 5 is convenience. So we are very paradoxical in that sense. We are the laziest species, but we like to work hard in getting to a point where we can be lazy. So if you can offer some sort of convenience to your customers in their daily lives, again, you have their attention. Number 6 is dependability and quality. So a lot of marketing messages kind of lead with this. It's not something that we desire. We just want something that works. We want something that works well secondarily. So if you want to mention that as a sub copy versus the actual main headline, that would be more helpful. Number 7 is the expression of beauty and style. Again, not something we're born with. We're lucky to be in a world where this even exists as a need. And this can be satisfied through a variety of products and services. It just isn't about clothes and watches. Number 8 is the need to profit. So this doesn't mean from a business sense that you want to make a profit, but if you can give someone that can help them make more money in some way, shape, or form, whether through education or through some sort of investment or even an investment in themselves, that could really work for them. And lastly, number 9 is the need to have a bargain. This is, again, always secondary. I see a lot of people leading with the need to bargain or the message of a bargain up front. If you were to first tap into a Life Force 8 and then mention the bargain, you'd have a lot more success. So there you have it, guys. There's 17 psychological takes that you can tap into to improve your marketing messages, your sales conversations. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do share it with someone that you think will benefit from this. Do reach out in the comments below if you'd like me to explain something. If you were taking notes, you have the list with you already. If you weren't, don't worry. I'll be putting out a blog post with the list. I'll drop it in the description in the video. Have a look, check it out. Come back to this channel, let me know how we're doing, and hope to see you again.